All right, part 2, behind the scenes. We made it into some neighborhoods. That's the end of the trail. Let's take a look here. Now that my shoes are all muddy, let me get back to you and we'll see where we end up from now. Because as you can see, there's Dictionary Hill right here, and there's another little hillside, a little smaller hill right there, and I was in between that, so it's kind of like a valley. And we ended up here in some neighborhoods. Ended up at a cul-de-sac, pretty much. So I don't know if we can get to the top from here. I wanted to check my coordinates, my location, and yeah, we'll see. So I know getting lost, this is a getting lost series, but I actually got lost for a bit there, but it's telling me to go this way, and I think we can still get to the top of Dictionary Hill. But that's pretty cool, behind the scenes, you know. There's gonna be some neighborhoods for a little bit. I don't want to film too much of the neighborhoods because they're so boring, but it's a nice neighborhood to live in. It might not be so nice filming it, but yeah, on the side of Dictionary Hill with less of the hill part than the first video. I know the famous street, Apple Street, but more video once we're on the trail. So we definitely got lost, but I think I found a way to get to the top. Again, we're on some hills now, obviously, but make a right there at the next street, go way down, make another left, then make another right, and I think we can get to the top, because I know you all want to see that. But yeah, more on that when we get there. Here's a little perspective on how these Spring Valley hills are, some of them. Dictionary Hill. It's quite the climb. So, if you don't have a good vehicle with working brakes, don't even think about it. Terabella Nursery, yeah. I see that on the freeway all the time, on top of the bridge when I'm going through it. So, yeah. One of these houses up here, I think is that one. We cleaned up the elderly people's house when they couldn't live there anymore. I think it was that house right there. The other year. I'm pretty sure somebody lives there now, but there was an elderly couple who lived in that house. I don't know, why would you live on a hill? First of all, if you're an elderly person who uses wheelchair stuff. But that one has 3 floors. One for the garage, I think one for the living room, and then the upstairs is where everything is. And that's a nice house. but they couldn't live there anymore, so they had to sell it. Family did, and they moved to the facility where I work at. And as with most elderly people, they didn't last because of their condition. But look how far up we are. Not a bad hike, not a bad climb. But if you're not used to climbing up steep hills, forget it. But anyways, so after climbing up that steep ass street, which I don't recommend, I made it. Here's another entrance to Dictionary Hill. Trying to catch my breath. I was cooking back there, and good thing I had some hydration. Always bring hydration. It will replenish you in more ways than you think. So let me catch my breath real quick. Try not to breathe into the camera a bit, but yeah, this is the I want to say southeast entrance of Dictionary Hill. If north is that way, yeah, southeast. Again, this is one of the entrances to the top, and I think we might have made a wrong turn from the beginning. Instead of going left, we should have made a right to get to the top of here. But I guess it turned out for the better, because we did some behind the scenes of Dictionary Hill. You know, wildlife, nature, flora, fauna, all that great stuff. And we finally get to explore it. Maybe we can go back down it from that angle to get back to my vehicle. You know, we'll see what happens. But hey, I made it. And yeah, I was cooking back there, which maybe a little too much, but here we are. My advice, if you're coming up here, get a nice working car, 6-cylinder at least, something with power to get up those hills. And then, you know, make your climb up here. And here we are, we're at the top. Because we did most of the climbing back there. I think most of the heavy duty climbing was climbing up that street. One of the streets in Dictionary Hill that's very steep. I don't know which one's the steepest, you know. Some people can tell you. But this is the top. We were over there somewhere, down there, right next to Monte Vista. I think that's Monte Vista High. Yeah, down there actually, because we were like close to Monte Vista. And then we were down there when we started getting lost at that cul-de-sac. But made it here to the top. And I couldn't be more excited and more happier to be in my hometown in the wilderness. Let's go. And then we'll figure out our way down to the bottom. I think I'm going to record that too. So this might be a 3-part series, 4-part series, behind the scenes of Dictionary Hill. But if it's your first time, you got to come up here and experience it. So I think this is one part of Dictionary Hill here. The top is all the way up there. We're only in We're only in one part of it. I just realized it. So let's keep going. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're only on one part of it. When you think this is the top, it's not. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, hold up. All right, here's one of the views here. Where exactly am I looking at? Oh, okay, that's Paradise Valley. I don't know if we can zoom in right there real quick. Right in the middle, Paradise Valley Road. You know what I'm talking about? Leads up to Worthington. There, 54. Turns into 125. And yeah. Upper Sweetwater Reservoir. I don't know if you can see it, trees blocking the way. But Mount San Miguel. Mother Mount San Miguel. I like to call it Mother Mount San Miguel. Like Mother Helix last week. Mother Mount Helix. But as you can see, this is much more of a hike than in the last video. Last video, I'm referencing where I am from the last time I went to Dictionary Hill in the last video. I was more over there. And yeah, that one takes you straight up. I think it's the most easiest, quite honestly. But that's the most straightforward. This one, I took like a long cut, and I guess that's what Getting Lost is all about in this series. People ask, do you really get lost? Yeah, a few times I have gotten lost. And right now I did get lost. So, there's that. So, again, there are many different man-made trails here. Excuse me. You pick your own path, you pick your own way of getting there. And yeah. This is again a 3 or 4 part series. You'll see it in my YouTube channel. For those of you that might see bits and pieces of this on Instagram, I might put it on Instagram. But since it's like a 4-part series, I think this is only available on my YouTube channel, because on Instagram you can only put like 15-minute videos and stuff, unless it's a live video. So yeah, the best way to see this is through my YouTube channel. If you're friends with me on Instagram, you know, check out my YouTube channel. Link is in the description. But you can also check out my Instagram at 50 ways. That's the number 50 ways. TO, leave your drummer. And then my other Instagram handle is 50 ways 2, number 2, leave your drummer. And yeah, we're gonna make it there to the top. So this is the part 2 of the series, behind the scenes of Dictionary Hill. I got cooking back there, so I had to take off my jacket. When I started, it was nice and cold. Then the sun came out a little bit, hi sun, and started to warm things up. But essentially, Dictionary Hill is comprised of like a few different hills, like the hill I'm standing on, and that hill over there, between that valley, and then the main part here. It's like a Doug Trio, if you will, of a Dictionary Hill. But yeah, you don't see that. You kind of do see this part, but the main part, when you're coming to Spring Valley, obviously is the one where we're going up to right now, the tippy top. And this is the hike, this is the climb right here. It's very nice. I think I'm kind of zoomed in, but yeah. I think I was zoomed in for like a few minutes already. But, you know, you get the idea. Again, I'll throw the link in the description. I mean, the address in the description on where I started. You don't have to do the long cut the way I did where I got lost. That's just me being dumb and getting lost. That's how the series started. But I think when you start, I think you make a right instead of a left. But there was puddles there, so I made a left. Oh, and another thing, don't go when it's raining. You know, definitely don't go when it's hot, because Spring Valley is known for hot weather. Here in East County, you'll be cooking in the summertime. You know, go on a spring day when the weather is nice, not too hot. And yeah, bring plenty of water, no matter what. Even if it's not hot, bring water. And yeah, don't ever climb those streets, man. Unless you're from San Francisco and you're used to those hills, then it's no big deal. But for somebody like me who lived in Spring Valley on a hill, which was not as steep as that one, you can be cooking. Your heart rate can be cooking. And you don't want your heart rate to be too much cooking. You want it cooking just enough. And what I mean by that, you want it going, but you don't want to overdo it. So that's where we were. That's the second connected part of Dictionary Hill. We're gonna go up to the main part here. And this is part 2. And then part 3 might be trying to find my way back down. So right now, 10:31. We've definitely been walking for an hour. And we've reached 1.94 miles. So, oh yeah. It's definitely a 2-hour kind of thing here. And definitely a 3-parter. Might be my longest video. That's why it's a 3-parter. Or a 4-parter. We'll see. But it's nice. You know, it may or may not be raining today, right now, soon, whatever. But right now it isn't. And yeah, let's make our climb up to the top here. You can hear my chain and necklace rattling, if that's what you're wondering what that is. Wow. For me, I couldn't believe I climbed up that street. If I filmed that whole thing, it would just be me trying to catch my breath. But it's definitely a climb getting up here. You're not even at the top yet, and you still get spectacular views. So perspective again. Where I'm pointing, all the way down there, Tijuana, TJ. Like Upper Otay Reservoir, Sweetwater Reservoir, right there. We're basically looking on the right side of Dictionary Hill, if you're looking at it from the freeway when you're coming in, and that way south. So if you want to see the views of downtown and Coronado and La Jolla and the rest of Spring Valley and all that good stuff, you're gonna have to get to the top here. But yeah, so far so good. Let me see how long this is. I'll get back to you. All right, maybe like 5 more minutes of part 2 here. Still making our way to the top, but this is the kind of stuff you have to go through when you climb up the hill here. You know, making our way to Dictionary Hill. It's nice. My heart rate is a little bit down. Not nearly as cooking as when we were on that street back there. So, yeah. This is the trail you have to go through. One of the trails. If you know, you know. You already know. But for me, you know, your first timers out there, this is a nice hike. It's a well thought out hike. And don't worry, we'll get to the top. But that's a great thing about this 3-part series is you eventually get to the top. But again, it's all about the journey and the destination and the stuff along the way. So don't come here at night. For sure, don't come here at night, because you're gonna run into some coyotes, I don't know, mountain lions, I don't know what kind of wild animals are out here at night. Don't come here when it's cooking in the summer, because it's too hot. And there's rattlesnakes, so don't do that. You know? Right now, it's nice. It's a little bit breezy. When you're working up a sweat, it feels nice. And the sun comes out every once in a while. So that's another great thing. And you know, this trail and this hike up here was made possible by, you know, the city and, of course, residents of Spring Valley. So we have to be respectful, and we have to, you know, stay on the marked trails. That's why they're there for a reason, so you don't mess with the natural habitat, the wildlife, the flora, the fauna, all that great stuff that's here. There's a nice tree right there. That's pretty nice. A few trees over there. But yeah, it's great that I'm the only one over here. So I could say whatever I want, do whatever I want here, get in a good exercise. But don't do what I do. Come alone. And you know, be dumb. But here, to the summit. So you can go that way, you can go that way, take you to the top. But yeah, go visit sdparks.org, County of San Diego. Tells you a lot more information about some of the parks and hills and nature and wildlife here in San Diego. If you want to go visit and, you know, let you know more information about that. Like Mount Helix last week. That's another, although that's not a hike per se, it's a nice walk to the top if you park, you know, in that parking structure. If you've seen that video, go check out the last video. But that's a nice little walk for the beginners. If you want to just drive up there, park, do a little bit of walking for maybe like 20 minutes and see the top from Mount Helix. And that's a better view than here. It's a little bit higher and you can see a lot more, or you can see just as much. But this one's a workout, this one's more of a hike. And yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this part 2 right now. Stay tuned for part 3, and we'll see what happens at the top, and we'll see what happens trying to get back to my vehicle.